don't you leave? Or why don't you ask him to leave? And the answer, well, he's a breadwinner. He's a provider. I got it good. Because they look at the material things. So they themselves are dying, but they choose to continue to live in that situation. So we have to choose to live. We have to choose life. We have to determine that we're not going to let anything hinder us from being who God ordained us to be. And whatever that means. Like Esther said, if I perish, I perish. But I got to take this action. If God gives you something, God tells you to do something, you've got to take that action, whatever the circumstances are. And if he told you, he will keep you. So choose to live. Then the next thing you got to do is get rid of all those who don't see what you see. God is speaking to you. God's giving you a vision. God's giving you direction. You get excited, and then you share that information with somebody, and they just pull the floor right out from under you. Jesus looked around, and all those people said, don't you know she's dead, Jesus? They didn't know who Jesus was. But they're like, don't know, she is dead. They're thinking, their mindset is, you know, maybe they think he's crazy. He don't know what he's talking about. Jesus had to clear the room of all the naysayers because he was getting ready to perform a miracle. And when you want change and for things that God has placed in you to give birth or to bring life, you can't have anyone around you that doesn't grab a hold of your vision, who's going to tear away from you, who's going to speak negativity to you. And even if they don't speak it, they're thinking, so their spirit is in the atmosphere. You've got to get rid of all those who don't see what you see.
My God.
God says you're wealthy. And you know what that means, because God's giving you the idea. He's not talking about he's got millions of dollars for you. But he's talking about where he's taking you. He's talking about the doors that he's opening for you. You know, when he says he's giving you favor. And you know what he means because he's talking to you. Somebody else is looking at the fact that your car breaks down every other day. They can't see the vision of what God gave you. All they can see is that you. All they can see is the you who didn't succeed, the you who keeps going forward and keeps failing in different circumstances. They only see the you who keeps chooses the wrong mate. Now God's told you he's going to give you this and he's going to give you that, like God did for me. God, when I wasn't bothering God about getting a husband, I was still holding on to the promises for over 10 years that I was going to get married. When I wasn't bothering God, the man of God who came to the church called me out right after he finished preaching, called me out and said, I don't know what your theology is, but I see a new man in your life. And he began to describe the character of the individual who is this new man. Now, I could have held on to the fact that it's been over 11 years I've been holding on to the promise that God said that I'm going to get married. And there's other people who may have been in that group, you know, who knows I've been holding on to that promise. And I'm still not one of the ones that they call out to minister to anyway. You know, every time evangelist comes, they call the same people out. It could be 20 different evangelists. The first one, they go, okay, they call that one, and this, all around you. And they look right at you and say, okay, you, no, not you in the black, you in the purple. And they looking right at you, but you in the purple. You're like,
what you looking at me?
So he never speaks to me like that through the prophets. And I be like, God, and I chop liver, I don't understand. You know, but then God said, I talk to you face to face. So he prophesied this into my life. And the next day, it came to pass. Now, if you look at the situation, and most of you already seen the gentleman, but if I went according to people, I would have missed it. If I went according to people. But I had to hear from God. And let me tell you, I didn't just meet, I made sure it was God. Because when he was my friend's brother, working the same job, this is how you know it's God. We work in the same agency. And really, in the same building for like 3 years, but same agency for 18 years. I knew his sister. When I wrote my book, she said, I want to get a copy for my brother. He needs it. I said, okay, here for your brother. For a year and a half, she tried to introduce us. And we work in the same building. Then she told me who he was. I said hello to him all the time. Then for a good, I don't know, several months, we still never talked. We always was going to talk, but never talked. In fact, she said to me, she said, oh, we're going out to eat. I asked my brother, I don't know if he's going to come. He said he had to go to the doctor. I said, look, whatever God say, you don't even have to worry about it. It's all right. It's all right. You don't have to worry about it. I don't even think about him coming because she keep telling me about it. She telling him to talk. And I'm like, no, foster brother. He don't have to come. Don't worry about it. Then I get a word from the Lord. Tomorrow, the word from the Lord, he's bringing a new man in my life. So I went and told her, because she's my friend, about the prophetic word that I got, that I never get a word. And as I described what God said, she kept saying, that's my brother. That's my brother.
Wow.
I'm like, well, whoever God has, that's fine, because I'm not thinking that's her brother. I said, whoever God has, whatever. But I know this is God's word, and I'm accepting this word. I walked away, got to my desk. By the time I got to my desk, 5 minutes later, I got a phone call. My sister said your church is in revival. That was her brother. I said, what you do? I know you been called your brother. She told her brother, this is the last time I'm telling you, call Justine. That meant I've been telling you all this time, and you've been giving me excuse. This is the last time I'm telling you. Because she already knew the word that was